Now let's go straight to our London reporter Alice Porter, who is at a demonstration in central London about Russian money in the UK. Good morning, Alice. Could you just give us an update on what's going on?
Hi there, good morning. Yes, of course, I'm in the Kensington and Chelsea borough, which is one of the wealthiest areas of London, but there's been a lot of concern about the properties which are in the area and who owns them, particularly in light of the events that we're seeing in Ukraine. The concern that oligarchs in the area own a number of the properties here, and we're at Thornwood Gardens, and a number of the properties here are owned by the ruling family of Azerbaijan. And so there's a demonstration that is about to take place here, really in front of these properties, and it's really sort of, I think, calling into account people in the area and saying this is Kensington against dirty money. It's a group that have been formed in the last week or so because of the events in Ukraine, and really saying that they no longer want people like that owning properties in London, and concerns about issues to do with money laundering. So I'm just going to move to one side so you can just have a look to see what is taking place.
For people fighting for democracy in Kazakhstan, in Azerbaijan, and of course in Russia. But it's also terrible for our local communities. And that's why we want.
So this is Joe Powell, who is one of the founders of Kensington Against Dirty Money. He's standing, I don't know if you can see, he's got a washing machine right next to him, and they've put money in front of it, and it's right in front of the Union Jack flag. And so they're going to be they've got bricks sort of around on the ground here, and really it's right in front of these buildings here that are owned by a number of oligarchs in the area. And so they're going to be doing some sort of demonstration really to show the frustration that many people in the area are feeling when it comes to people who are coming to London, buying properties, and the concern is about who these people are and where this money is coming from, and whether there is fraud and money laundering taking place in the centre of London. That's the worry and that's the concern. So this is Joe Powell here, who's one of the founders here, just as they're about to undertake some. We're just going to come a bit forward. Okay, if you can go a bit closer.
Properties like this, we want to see proper enforcement. Budget for the National Crime Agency to go after and enforce sanctions.
So this is Joe Powell here going through some of the demands that this group are making on not just the council but also on the government. They've written an open letter to their MPs, really calling on the government to make sure that they're not continuing to, they claim, take money from autocratic regimes, from people who are involved with money laundering. And the real worry, as I was saying, is people coming in from foreign regimes, and the worry is about the property that are in this area being used to continue to do money laundering. So that's the issue there. So this is just, began in the last sort of couple of minutes, but of course we've had worrying concern over the last few weeks or so that there are people who are in London who are using properties as a way of doing money laundering, and that of course has come up the last few weeks of the concern because of oligarchs, and that's why there are increasing sanctions that are taking place over the last few days, particularly yesterday with Roman Abramovich.